So hi everyone, my name is Goh Jun, and today I'm gonna present about a specialty called Neunato Cardiology. So Neunato Cardiology is a specialty who treats the heart conditions of the infants. So let's move on to the anatomy of the infant's heart. So basically the anatomy of infant hearts is very alike to what an adult heart look like, except for two structures, but for that I will mention later lah. So first we can see the infant heart also got four chambers: right, left atriums, and right and left ventricles. It also got two nodes: the SA nodes and AV nodes, and also four valves: tricuspid valve, bicuspid valve, pulmonary valve, and aortic valve. But as we can see, there are two structures differ from our hearts. The first one is foramen ovale. As you can see, there's a holes between two atriums, which, like in adult hearts, there's a septum separates the right and left heart. But in infants, the the septum between right and left is a hole. And what these structures functions of, we will see that later in the physiology. So move on to the ductus anterosus, which connects the aorta and the pulmonary arteries. And again, we will see its functions later in the physiology. So quickly move on to physiology of the infant heart. And as you can see in the pictures, the foramen ovale, you can see the second one. Okay, it allows the oxygenated blood in the right atriums move to left atriums. And for the ductus anterosus, which connects aorta and pulmonary arteries, is allows the further shunting of blood away from the lungs, goes to the aorta. Okay, so basically the oxygenated blood will first comes to the right atriums. Will first goes into the right atriums from the inferior vena cavas. But before that, actually the infants got another structures called the venous arteriosus. Ductus venosus. Ductus venosus is located in the liver lah. So after that, the oxygenated blood from the right atriums will go through the foramen ovale and goes to the left atriums. And it's because of the different pressures between the right and left atriums, and for some reasons the right atriums is slightly got higher pressures than the left atriums. And from the left atriums, the blood passes the left ventricles and out to the aorta to be sent to all the body parts of the infant. And from the right ventricles, the blood will pump to arteries, the pulmonary arteries, and goes to the lungs of the infant. But there's an amount of the oxygenated blood will go to the aorta as a result of the ductus anterosus. And why like that? It's because during the fetus development, the structure of the lungs, and same goes with the liver, is not that important. So the body tends to send more blood to the other organs and to faster out their development, as there has a more important roles in the development of infants. So let's move on to the biochemistry of the infant heart. So the biochemistry of the infant heart is actually same goes with the adult. So we just quickly go through it. It's also got 5 phases, actually just the same. So phase 1 is depolarization. As we know, the voltage gated sodium channel open, and the influx of the sodium ions cause the inner membranes to slightly become more positive than the outer membranes. So, and the phase 1 is the initial repolarizations. As the sodium channels close, the voltage gated potassium channel begins to open. So some of the potassium begins to efflux, goes to the outer membranes. And phase 2 is productive phase. And in this phase, the productive phase is to maintain the depolarizations. And in this phase, the voltage gated calcium channels opens, so the calcium ions inflows, and the potassium ions continue to outflows. And in phase 3 is repolarizations. The voltage gated calcium channels ions close, and slow voltage gated potassium channel opens, and potassium ions continue to outflow. And phase 4 is resting potential. It restores the outflow of potassium ions. So we move on to the disease of the infant cardiovascular systems, or the disease of infant heart. And we got the disease that I choose is tetralogy of Fallot, or we can short form is TOF. Is quite a very popular disease, and sometimes we also call is the blue baby disease. And why call like that is the babies who got this disease, his face and his fingers will be like blue colors. And why it's like that, we will later talk further about that. So what is the TOF? So TOF is a rare heart condition that's present at birth. That means it's congenital heart defect. So baby who born with these conditions will have 4 different heart problems. So the first is the pulmonary valve stenosis, which means, as you can see in these pictures, this is pulmonary valve. Pulmonary valve stenosis means the enlarged something like the pulmonary valve becomes like bigger a bit, cause the blood is harder to flow out to the pulmonary arteries. And you also got ventricular septal defect, which means there's a hole between the right and left ventricles, so the blood will mix out in the heart. And the overriding of the aorta, which means the aorta, as you can see, is above the VSD. It's above the VSD because both of the blood from right ventricles and left ventricles will goes into aorta. It's unlike the baby with only VSD. The baby with only VSD, the aorta is located normally actually. So, but in these situations, is located above both and the located both at above of both right and left ventricles. And also we got right ventricular hypertrophy, which means because the baby right ventricles has to pump blood, goes to 2 different blood vessels, the pulmonary arteries and aorta. So some kinds of overloads for the right ventricle so the walls of the right ventricle become larger. So we move on to the symptoms. So the baby who got the TOF will have blue and or gray skin color. It's because of lack of oxygenated blood sent to the bodies as you can see in the picture quite sad. And also shortness of breath and rapid breathing, especially during feeding or exercise, trouble gaining weight, getting tired easily during play or exercise, irritability, it can be and will crying for long periods of time, fainting. So the treatments, so the TOF can be treated with the corrective surgeries, we call Barlow-Thomas-Taussig shunt operations, and is usually conducted within the first years of life. As we can see, after the surgery, the pulmonary arteries is widened with the patch, and the area below the valve is also widened, and the VSD is repaired with patch. So after that, we will move on. A specialist that I chose is Alfred Barlow. It's the same Barlow in the Barlow-Thomas-Taussig shunt operation. Yeah, it's that Barlow. So Alfred Barlow, born in Georgia, US, April 5th of 1899. So it's an American surgeon that contributes a lot to the world, as is noted for his works on medical condition of shocks as well as the TOF. He graduated from the University of Georgia in 1918, and he entered the Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine, and he received his MD degrees in 1922. One of his significant contributions is conducted the research on the traumatics and hemorrhagic shock. He concludes that actually the shocks is the effects of the loss of blood and is not toxins, and because before his contributions, a lot of doctors think that the shocks is because of a kind of toxins, but after his research is proof that no, it's because of the loss of blood volumes, and how we can treat that is by the volume replacement treatment lah. We replace the blood that lost, and this credited with the saving countless of lives during the World War II. And the Barlow returns to the Johns Hopkins Hospital in 1941 as a professor now, and is the head of Department of Surgery in this School of Medicine, and also a surgeon-in-chief of these hospitals. At that time, he also has got one partners called Thomas. Sam Thomas. Their stories is quite interesting. God times can search for Alfred Barlow and Thomas. And with the assistance from his research and laboratory assistance with Vivian Thomas and pediatric cardiologist Helen Taussig, the Barlow-Thomas-Taussig shunt, a surgical procedure to relieve the cyanosis from the TOF. And so, as we can see, the TOF before this surgery be considered a very hard condition to be treated lah. The baby with these conditions can be saved. It is very hard to live to adulthood, but after these surgeries comes out, have a lot of baby with these conditions have been saved lah. And I think that's all from me. Thank you.